All right, what's going on, Legionnaires? Welcome to another episode of the Legion of Comic Correction, where we talk all things comic books. Let's go! Yeah, man. All right, we're jumping into another one of our streaming pods where we talk about the show Echo today on Disney Plus and Hulu. It's a Hulu's. They're like, I wonder if they're doing that with this spotlight thing, where it's going to be Disney Plus and Hulu because they're trying to make it.
They're trying to grab people in.
Trying to grab more people because you don't need to see other MCU stuff to see this.
You're doing the fish thing.
I know. Yeah. The fish. Get him. Yeah, where's that bait? All right. So we're going to be talking about Echo today. So if you haven't seen it, go watch it. Spoilers. If you like hearing podcasts about comic book stuff, come
this
here.
Is a place. Or spoilers about things.
Everything. We spoil just life in general.
Or if you don't want to watch the whole thing and you want to know what happens.
A synopsis?
Yeah, you could just be here.
Yeah, and you can watch it.
We can give it to you. Usually it's better than the show.
Yeah, you know what?
Tell us what you want.
Just watch us. You don't need to watch anything else. Just watch us.
Nope, you'll get all the info.
Like and subscribe. Click down there, like and subscribe, guys. Hit that bell if you want to hear more. We are here pretty much weekly. We have a lot going on in our life, so it might not always come out every week. It's not our full-time job, but if you support us, it could become our full-time job. So support us so that we can just do this for a living instead of doing all the other important stuff that we do in life. If you want to support us in a little bit of a bigger way, you can head down to the links below to our website, legionofcc.com. We can buy sweet merch like that beanie over there. I haven't seen that in a while, man.
Yeah, this is a fresh.
This is
fresh. It's cold, though. That's why.
Keeping you warm?
It's cold, yeah.
The beanie's not cold.
No, I'm cold.
You're
the
cold.
The beanie is keeping me warm. It's a good one.
Unless cold is like the new
I wonder if that would even
fit
fit on my head.
It probably not.
It would be an interesting look. It would be an interesting.
I think the
stretch to the max.
Name would be real stretch. Or sweet merch like this, and sweet merch like that garbage hat over there.
Some other stuff under
there. You got layers.
I got layers.
I've
been called an ogre before.
That's a fair statement. You got to wear that with pride.
I do.
Well, we'll put it up here in comparison. Shrek or Harry? I think I would choose Harry. Would you choose Harry Green, though?
Oh, Harry would take down an ogre.
Green?
I have no doubt.
Harry.
I'd like a harpoon
Shrek,
first.
Harry, the Hulk.
You don't need a harpoon to take down an ogre with you.
Bare hands.
It's true.
Bare hands.
B-E-A-R.
Right, you get bare hands.
You get bare hands.
The right to bare arms.
If you want to support in an even bigger way, you guys can join our Patreon down below. The link is there too.
Somewhere down there.
It's over here, maybe over there.
We got 3 different tiers. They got all different kinds of stuff. You get behind the scene artwork and photos, polls, and
top tier is the best.
And you get a free lightsaber.
Which is the top tier? You don't get a free lightsaber.
I'll give you a free
lightsaber. You got to stop.
I will buy someone a lightsaber.
Stuff out there.
So if you
that's crazy.
All right. So if you become
that's crazy. Which tier? Which supporter, is the top tier? 1 or 3?
No, 10.
What?
It's 10.
One,
no,
2,
but
10.
there's 3 tiers. 3. Which is the top tier?
The third tier is the top tier.
Third tier is the best tier.
So if you become a third tier, top tier member, and you message us saying, "Where's my lightsaber?" Harry may send you a lightsaber.
I would.
That's good.
It's not going to be like an insane one, but it'll be a lightsaber.
Cool.
It won't be like the ones they pass out in parades, but it won't be like a
worth it.
sound effects one from Disney.
It may or may
that's
not.
100% worth it.
I'd do it.
It may or may not be just a pipe cleaner.
That's
with electrical tape, but
all right,
electrical eel tape, right?
Yes.
Well, think about supporting us. Again, the easiest way is to like and subscribe. It helps the almighty algorithm. And we can do more stuff. Yeah, it takes nothing.
Just do that.
I know your fingers are strong enough. We've looked at the analytics, guys. Like 70% of you guys are not subscribers who are watching our videos. So
just come on board. Welcome to
this is just a little button right under. You click the video, and then there's this little.
Join the
family.
Yeah, just click it. We're gonna
join the Legion.
So you don't even have to look up the video.
It's not even here.
It'll be. It is. You do.
Oh, did I touch it?
Yeah, right there.
It was like up here. Maybe.
All right, here. Well, we're gonna jump into Echo. So, okay, if you haven't seen it,
get to the show.
Too much banter. Listen, we do take, guys, leave.
That's true.
We need critical criticism.
It was correct.
It was correct. We need to get better at that, and we're doing our best.
The comment, still too much banter.
If you do, we'll try and cut it down more.
We're going to be like, hi, we're going to talk about show. Support us.
Show.
Go to our Patreon. We have a poll on there about how much banter we should have.
Is banter good or bad?
Banter is good, but it needs to be
limited,
balanced,
as
all things should be.
No, Sith.
Only Sith steal in absolutes.
Only
and-
Sith steal in
balance.
absolutes.
And Thanos.
Only Siths only want banter.
All right, so Echo is a show.
Echo is a
Echo
show.
is a show on Disney Plus, guys. It's the first in Marvel's new Spotlight series, which is whenever something is a spotlight. Whenever something is a spotlight show, you only have to watch that show. You don't have to watch anything else in the MCU.
Which
and they
I'm going to utterly disagree with.
entirely.
So
They did
tried
not
to
do well
they are
with this.
They tried to
lying.
do like a recap at the beginning, but really,
But it doesn't make any
You
sense.
need-
There
Put it
were
in
so
perspective.
many other shows you needed to watch to have reference and understanding of all the characters in this show.
Victoria
Sure.
did not
Yeah,
watch
yeah.
Hawkeye.
I was gonna
Right.
say, yeah,
Right.
Okay,
it's
so-
such a good
really
point.
lost.
So we watched the
Hawkeye, first off,
Hawkeye's
great
freaking
point.
great.
Yeah.
Hawkeye was great.
Right, but
Great
like
show.
Yes.
Harry's kicking it off with Hawkeye. That's the main one you need to watch before watching this thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's really the only one.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Victoria didn't watch that, and I was like,
Right.
this is supposed. I am
Supposed to
trusting
be.
in
Right,
Marvel
right.
right now
Uh-oh.
that I don't have
Why?
to give a synopsis. I
Yep.
gave
Yeah.
a synopsis.
Yeah.
So, and she's just like, I don't understand what's going on, and nothing from that really helped with what this. She did watch Daredevil, so she knows who Wilson Fisk is,
Right, who
Yeah.
Fisk is.
and
Yeah.
obviously who Daredevil is.
Kingpin?
But like, she's like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know why there's this relationship
Why is
here.
it- right, and they tried
They
to.
tried,
They
but
tried
like,
to show the
failed.
kids.
why?
and-
Like, they actually
Yeah.
they still don't say like, how did Wilson find like her? I know like he came to work
well,
for Wilson
he,
Fisk.
he
but,
employs
like,
the father.
where was the point where like Wilson
Yeah.
Fisk, the father, and
Yeah.
her were like, he's like family.
Yeah, there's so in the
I'm with you,
In
Harry.
the comics, there's more exploration of the
Oh,
father
really?
Kingpin's
In
relationship.
the comics?
It's better in the
It's
comics.
better in the comics?
Yeah.
They didn't do what was in the comics, Greg?
They well, so we'll get to that. They really didn't in the show, but there is something that
So
people
stupid.
there's something that people like have been kind of claiming it might point to something. We'll get to it, and we'll see if you guys agree. I don't know if I
So
agree.
just to
but
add on
we'll get
here,
to
though, it's the first in the Spotlight series.
First in the Spotlight series.
But this is the 10th Marvel series.
Sure, right, which is fine because some of the series do tie directly into the major story, right? So the idea of Spotlight
What
is,
major story?
I know. Well, that's
Can you
different.
clarify what the major story is for us? Because it doesn't exist anymore.
The multiverse is all they've given us.
that's all. Yeah.
Which it does tie into that.
Well, everything ties into that. You
Exactly
could make
right.
anything up, and it ties into the
Yeah.
multiverse, including
Yeah,
What If,
yeah,
which
yeah.
makes no sense because it shouldn't.
No, what if's the best again because it's one-offs.
It's not the best. No, it's not. We talked about that.
It's self-contained.
Jeez.
It's self-contained.
Kind of.
What is it? It doesn't connect to anything in the bigger MCU.
You sure?
No. The only thing, honestly, I was thinking about the only thing that they've created that really feels like a genuine Spotlight, and it's not under the Spotlight banner because it didn't exist yet,
Yeah.
is Werewolf by Night.
Yeah.
Werewolf by
Yeah.
Night is a,
Yeah,
is a
it's-
fantastic short little story that is nothing to anything else.
Yep. I'm
Like,
with you.
And that's the thing.
Yeah.
The Spotlight character. It's not the Spotlight characters won't ever be in other MCU things.
It's
They
just
could.
that you
The
can
story
watch
that they're
it.
Be able to
portraying
watch it, right.
doesn't need
Yeah.
You
any
should be able to
background
watch
filler.
it without any
Yeah.
background filler.
What the heck?
Yeah, it
Go
didn't-
ahead. Keep going.
It wasn't. Yeah, that part definitely wasn't the best. We're gonna go over just a few people in it, and
Yeah.
then we'll just jump into kind of what we thought about the
Sure.
series as a whole. It dropped all at once, which is something they've never done before. It's a bingeable, so it just kind of all 5 episodes dropped at one time instead of weekly like they've
Yeah, it
been
was an
doing.
interesting move.
Yeah, which I think is the best idea because nobody knows Echo, nobody really cares about Echo.
and I
Is the best way to have it happen.
I prefer that route because,
Yeah.
I don't have necessarily the same time blocked out every single week
Sure,
to
to
be
sit and
able
watch
to
it.
watch these things.
Man, remember when we
And I
had to
would-
do that?
Yeah, yeah.
Remember when like
When
you-
TV was like that?
Yeah, we grew up in that generation
We grew up
where
in that
we
era.
could.
When we
Yeah.
had to wait,
And if you missed it, you missed it, and it was just like, well, I
Yeah.
guess
It
I'll
used to
never
be that
see
way.
or
it
you
again.
just record it with
Yeah, you, like,
VHS.
VHS
That was
recording.
prior to kids.
Which-
we did.
isn't
Carly
that
and I
illegal?
would
Probably.
Carly and I would literally put time away to watch Arrow every week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now,
Now it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Streaming has ruined television to a degree.
mhm.
Anyway, all right. So a few people of note here in the show, and we got some new characters, and I think again, and Marvel's done this a bunch recently, where I feel like they introduce really great characters with really cool possibilities, and we just haven't seen.
and then they
that
do
happen.
nothing with them.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like I love the actor choice, the people you cast,
Sure.
and I love the concept of the character,
Sure.
but the content is not that great.
Nope.
So here we go. Alaqua Cox comes back as Echo, and my goodness, she's great.
I really like her.
Great
Yeah,
actress.
she's a good actor.
Yeah.
She is actually deaf and actually an amputee, which is really
Yes.
cool.
Yes.
And she freaking is a powerhouse. Like I said to you guys both.
She's scary as heck,
Yeah,
man.
whenever there's
I'm not picking a fight with her in the street.
there's not many fights in this show, which is a complaint I think all three of us had. But when there is a fight, she's freaking awesome.
She's
I
scary.
want to see more of her doing that, like kicking butt, man. She's so good.
Taking names.
Yeah, so she was in it. Chaske Spencer came in to play Henry Lopez, which is the guy who owns like the roller rink.
Yep.
And he's also who he works for Fisk. I thought he was great too. Their connection, like the two of them, thought did a really good job.
Yeah.
I think there's some promise to see more of him in more series. Thought he was great. And then Tantu Cardinal, she played Chula, her grandmother, and that again. That the familial like back and forth, I thought were really good in that show, and they played well together, and she was great. Having her like her daughter die in the flashbacks, and just the way that tore the family apart, I thought was good. The emotional beats were really solid in this show.
Yeah, they weren't bad. I really liked the emotional aspects, but like it just felt like this overall storyline didn't actually capitalize on the emotional aspects. The connection there between plot and emotional beats missed.
100%.
Keep going.
The last two. Well, actually, we'll do three. I'm going to do a special, an honorable mention. Vincent D'Onofrio came back as Kingpin. Every moment.
Almost was
to
gone.
break
I
his
was
thing
trying
again.
to point to Harry because Vincent D'Onofrio, his man, but then I almost smacked that right at you almost had a new one.
I need a new one, so you want to do that again? Let's try it. Take two. Vincent D'Onofrio came back, and man, every moment he was on the screen, I wanted more of him. He's great.
Yeah,
he's
Kingpin,
phenomenal.
he's so good.
He is a little different.
So good. Yeah,
he's a little more
course.
like reserved, but that's
okay.
what he's gonna be with what's her name?
Echo.
No,
Maya Lopez, yeah.
Maya, because it's like he feels like a kinship, so he's gonna be a little bit reserved.
Sure.
Like, if she wasn't who she was, she'd be dead.
Yo,
she's family to him.
And
probably the only family that she's probably the only one he
Vanessa's
views
gone.
as family.
Yeah, since Vanessa's not in the picture
Right.
at this point. The dinners, the family dinners. Dude,
Oh my
terrifying.
gosh.
And then he wants to have like a family
never
dinner.
want to be at a family
She's just
dinner
like,
with
he's
him.
like,
Holy
could you get
crap.
glasses or whatever? And she's like,
Yeah, she just pours
out the wine.
So good. So good. He's like, what'd you do with it? And she's like, I'm not going to drink that.
oh, the technology came out with too.
Oh my word!
That's
With
so cool.
the sign. Anyway.
Oh, yes.
Vincent D'Onofrio, fantastic.
Yes.
And then we get.
He would have killed anyone else.
We get Charlie Cox for one episode, and I think
scene.
he says like one line.
So stupid.
Really cool fight
3
scene.
seconds.
Really great. Just makes me want Born Again more and more and more. Which I think was kind of the point.
I don't know. I don't think it made me. I hear you, but it didn't make me like. Well, it didn't make me want it more than I already want it. Like it didn't draw me in.
I was reading an article on this from I was either the director or producer, but the suit they used for him was a brand new suit. It wasn't the Netflix suit.
How many suits is this guy getting?
This is now his.
They're all new, but they all look the same.
Yeah,
his second,
this guy is getting so many suits.
It's his second MCU iteration. So the yellow and red from She-Hulk, yellow and red was the most comic accurate.
Right.
This one though, what they did was essentially
from Born Again.
No, the one that was in Echo. I'm saying the yellow and red in She-Hulk was the most comic accurate so far that we've seen on screen.
Yeah.
Comic accurate, not like cool.
A specific comic accurate, because
sure,
not all
original,
of him. He's not.
Yeah, yellow and red is the original Murdoch outfit, but the one that they did here was a combination of the yellow and red and the Netflix, I think, season 2 suit, and they kind of made it their own, and it looked great. It looked really good. I just want to see more of it. I want to see more of him. I want to see more Daredevil, and I think that's what hurt this show a little bit, is that I think it was pitched with a lot of Kingpin. A lot of you're gonna see a lot of Kingpin and a lot of Daredevil.
Yep.
We didn't see that much Kingpin, and we barely saw any Daredevil.
Right.
And I think that kind of disappointed people. Even though, which is a shame, because Alaqua Cox was fantastic, and there was a lot of potential there.
Yeah, but you set people's expectation up, and then you failed to meet it.
Well, and whether they did it purposefully or not, it was just, I think we've all been so desperate for Daredevil, and this was like, oh man, we're gonna get him.
Yeah.
And then we did. And the honorable mention goes to Cody Lightning, who played Biscuits.
His last name's actual,
His
like,
last
legal name is Lightning.
I mean, I don't know. IMDb is going to have his stage name.
Did anyone catch that his truck, they're driving on the wrong side of the truck?
Yeah, well, he mentions that.
The steering wheel is on the wrong side of the car.
He mentions that because when she asks him to help her, which he doesn't know what he's helping her with when they go and do the train robbery, he mentions that he's not the best off-roading because it's on the wrong side.
Yeah, but why?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they never explain why. It's the grandmother's truck, so maybe she's like.
I thought maybe they were filming in like Australia or something. Like that's why.
She is a postal worker.
That's
so maybe
why.
that's why. It's the grandmother's truck.
Why.
That makes
sense.
The
grandmother's truck. She's a postal worker.
Good catch.
That's why it's on the wrong side.
Good catch.
Honestly, I watched this whole series in one day and I was like half asleep.
That's
not because of this.
That's a lot. Well, partially.
Kind of,
partially.
Probably.
That didn't help.
Well, Biscuits was hilarious, though.
But yeah, postal workers have it so that they can actually reach the mailboxes and not get out of the vehicles.
Both my grandfathers were postalmen.
Oh, this guy
he knows everybody.
Everybody doing everything.
I bet you both of them were Oscar winners.
No,
probably. Nope.
In your eyes.
Do you have
one of them played minor league baseball though?
Stop it!
Okay,
all right, we're moving on. That's the
play for the Phillies.
This freaking banter.
This freaking banter.
I'm kidding. He did get scouted by the Phillies, but they didn't pay enough money.
Oh,
legitimately.
What the frick?
This was like almost 100 years ago.
Yeah,
because he's old.
Years ago?
Yeah, my grandfather would have been like 90.
That makes sense.
My grandfather was like 37 when he had my mom. Like he was old.
This was
37 is not that old to have a child.
No, I just had a child at 35.
Back then it was. Back then it was.
Yeah, back then it was.
In the 60s?
In the 60s?
To have a kid?
Yeah,
at 37? Everyone's popping them out at 19.
Chill out.
Anyway.
19 babies.
I digress.
Keep moving.
Anyway, Biscuits was great.
Biscuits was great.
There was a lot of really fun little bits in here. Little bits of biscuits.
Little bits of
crumbles of biscuits.
Nice and flaky.
Yep.
But
created a biscuit trail.
Well, but I think, you know what? The biscuit is a good analogy here, I think, because
interesting. Where are you going with
this? So the crumbles of a biscuit is really good, but if you never get the actual full biscuit, it's just a tease.
So you just want a biscuit show?
I want a show that has the complexity of a full biscuit.
Absolutely not.
A show centering around.
Are we just talking about the show now?
Yeah,
let's jump into it. Yeah, I mean, this isn't like a full comic review because it's not a movie or anything. It has been getting good reviews. It has been doing well. But what do we think about it?
Besides, all right, I'm gonna ask questions.
I didn't see that great reviews on it. Go ahead.
Yeah, all right. So ready?
Interesting move.
Quick.
Barry's leading.
No, it's just like one question.
Well, we can all ask questions.
What episode was the best? Number one.
Okay, gotcha.
And
it's a Daredevil.
Did any other of those episodes after that live up to
right
quasi the same standard of we'll just call everyone enjoyed episode 1.
Yeah, episode 1 was great, and the last episode was good. I think the last episode was fun.
Yeah, I'll kick it off. I'll kick it off.
Yeah, go ahead.
My favorite was the last episode.
The last episode. It was really good.
I'll be honest, just full transparency. There was fighting. More action, which I expected from the entire season.
Yes, agreed.
And so when your second part of your question, I'll just phrase it differently, is like, did everything before that live up to my expectation because it's the last episode?
Right.
No, because when we saw Hawkeye, right?
Yep. Yes,
Echo was constantly in action scenes.
So that's her power.
She was a bully.
Right.
She was a bruiser.
She was, and she's his. When initially, Echo was Fisk's enforcer. Okay, so constantly
when she shows up, everybody gets in line because she's gonna freaking bring the noise.
She's gonna and so she didn't do that all season.
Which just to play devil's advocate, she was like. Hawkeye
Daredevil's advocate.
The devil Hell's Kitchen, man.
That's right.
Get back to Hell's Kitchen.
He needs to get back to Hell's Kitchen. He's all over the place. He's everywhere.
He was in Hell's Kitchen in this show.
True.
Anyway, regardless, to play devil's advocate, to play Daredevil advocate, the end of Hawkeye was her like realizing she needed to divorce herself from this life, and so she's running from it. So
I get it.
So I get that.
Here's
going back to the roots.
Go back to your roots.
But
go
here's
back
the
to
thing:
your creepy tree ladies with
anytime.
I thought there was gonna be some straight up nudity in this show. I was like, what's going on?
There kind of was.
I mean, there was
to a certain
She
extent.
had bark over the places.
Yeah.
But she definitely was bearing it all.
Oh my word!
Yeah.
I'm not allowing it. I'm not allowing
You
it.
shouldn't.
No,
You shouldn't.
that was a bad one.
Yeah.
But so
Is this how it's gonna be?
episode-
You between the both have to be in congruent or what an agreement
no,
here, or there
honestly-
has to be a pass.
No, you're the judge.
You're the judge.
You
You are the
essentially-
judge,
so-
but I'm just saying,
so
like,
Logan
if you
and
want to
I-
allow it, you can allow it, but I'm
Right.
disappointed.
Logan and I can be like
there wasn't
eh.
enough. There wasn't enough
It wasn't
synonymous.
enough. No, it wasn't
yeah,
enough.
yeah.
You're right. You're right.
Thank you.
It was
Thank
a
you,
little.
Harry.
It was some weak.
You
spots.
are entirely the judge.
was
There's
fine.
there's zero vote, all the vote.
Well, no. So we can try and sway
Influence.
you.
Yeah.
But in the end, you are the.
you
high
are the
ground.
only one who gives the bump.
Got it. Got it.
So
You need to hit. Where's the symbol?
you didn't deserve it.
I just said a ba-dum-bum.
yeah, all you got was the bump.
Got it.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So nothing lived up to my expectation because expectations for this were set pretty high.
That coffee's cold.
Yeah, I'm sure it is
So
at this
cold
point.
at this point. So good.
Expectations were set pretty high. First off,
Yeah, agreed.
5 episodes.
Yeah.
What
5
the heck?
episodes.
Like yeah.
Well,
like,
I don't
We're
mind.
robbed.
I don't mind that because it was an
I
instant
do.
drop. Like
We're
it was
robbed.
just like we get 5 all at once.
I don't care. We're robbed.
But
At some point, we're gonna get a
would
season to be
6
like
Marvel
one
doesn't have
episode.
standards.
Would
There's no
6
standards here.
This makes no sense.
Would 6 episodes made it better?
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know.
know.
I don't know. If they had
Well,
done
put it
more
this way,
action,
they can't do it in 5. They can't do it in 6.
Well,
That's probably
and
fair.
the thought for me, it felt too drawn out. Like
I thought episode 2, 3, and 4 were like,
could have been shorter.
snoozers.
what are we doing here?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's a
Where
lot
are
Like
we going?
A
episode
lot
2
of dialogue.
legitimately was all what the heck is going on.
Oh, clearly.
Because episode
Clearly.
1, they got a lot done in episode 1.
So,
They
but
did.
that's
But most
so,
of it was Hawkeye.
And I get it. They're kind of almost playing on the like, you're going to, where's it? Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And they're like, you're going back to your roots to Oklahoma. A little slow around
here.
here, bro. I don't know if people from Oklahoma have a southern accent, but if you do, if you don't, I'm sorry.
Probably-
The people in the show didn't.
I mean, you're close to Texas. You're like bordering
Assume.
Texas almost completely.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you a little bit of this.
I expected
Little drawl.
because they told us there was going to be more Daredevil and more Fisk.
Yeah.
And they weren't
they
wrong.
didn't.
They gave us
Well,
Fisk.
There was a good match.
Only
There was
to
there
a
was
certain extent.
there was
Different
a
side of
fine-
Fisk.
Yes.
And there was
yes.
I think they were honestly. I don't feel gypped about the amount of Fisk we got, but I do feel gypped about the amount of Daredevil we got.
100%. So,
all right, so,
I
yeah, wrap that
feel
up. I
like
want to answer
I
your
want to. Yeah, I want to wrap up mine. I
Yeah.
feel like I was let down by the series.
Gotcha,
I
okay.
was.
I
I
agree.
feel like it didn't meet the standard or expectation that I had for it.
Yeah.
Sure.
But I also want to say, and this is going to be the hot take. This
Hot
is going to be
take.
the hot
Hot
take.
take.
I didn't think we even needed the series at all.
Ooh.
Like this is
Yeah,
an
I somewhat
Andor
agree.
series to me.
Uh,
Who
You
needed
can't-
this?
You can't. Andor's great, man.
Who needed this? But Andor was
Yeah.
created. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me finish.
Andor was great.
Andor was
Hear
created.
me out.
Hear me out. Andor was created based on one line
100%.
in a series where he was like,
100%.
I did some stuff, and somebody was like, maybe
I
we
wanna-
should explore that.
I want to see that stuff you did.
Yeah.
That stuff you did, which that line has been given in a million movies and TV shows,
Yeah.
and people just accept it as like, oh, he did some
There
stuff.
should be a whole other movie when
I
when,
did things.
When Han Solo says, "I know."
Yeah.
I want a movie to tell me what he knew.
How did he know?
What did you
And
know?
what did
Yeah,
he
what
know?
did he know?
Was it really?
What
about
is love?
What is love?
Baby,
don't hurt me.
Don't hurt me no more. But in all seriousness,
What is love? Love.
that was good. That was good. Good falsetto. I didn't think we needed it. I
agree.
thought Echo was really strong in Hawkeye.
We saw the best Echo
That was
version of it.
100%.
We saw
That
it.
was amazing.
I wanna-
and I
yeah,
would have
I
loved
wanna
to have
feed off
seen
that for
her
a minute.
in and out of other series more.
Sure.
Maybe
Right,
she
right,
could have been
right,
tied
right.
in with stuff, and we
Yeah.
could get more flashbacks through other
Of her
series.
history, yeah. Sure.
But in Born Again, we could have done that in Born Again to a certain extent. I'm not saying it needed to be that much.
It depends on what they're trying to drive with Daredevil
But
series.
I
Right,
just
100%,
feel
yeah.
like
Yeah.
the series was unnecessary, and then it didn't live up to the expectation.
Yeah.
There are great aspects to it. I think
Right.
there are pieces
There
that
are
were
fun
really
bits.
really good.
Sure.
But I just didn't think it was necessary.
I think they could have just taken were the family ties? Were all those things nice? Yes.
Sure.
Like seeing like the different relationships between her grandparents and her dad and her mom and all those things. But they could have done that in like one episode.
Yeah,
maybe two.
And just made it just flooded with that, and that's fine.
Yeah,
because that's fine. That is what it is. But stretching it out over, did I like to see the? Yeah, I did. But it's
and she.
But we don't have that with anyone else, really.
Right.
Well,
so
why are we doing it? Why are we doing it with her?
Well, I wonder if Spotlight going to be that?
Yeah,
is that those shows going to be like that? I mean, we kind of had that with the Hawkeye show because it was about Kate Bishop, but yeah.
But if we're doing that with spotlights, the spotlights need to be really intense then.
Sure.
Yes.
Really intense and really immersive.
The other thing too is we're having people,
and I didn't feel like that.
So what was it? Episode 2. Episode 2, she mentions to her friend that runs the skating rink. She mentions that because at that point she still thinks Fisk is dead. She mentioned there was a king and now we need a queen. Mm-hmm. And like I wanted to see more of that fire. Like if she's going to usurp as a queen, let's have her freaking like. And it started that way where she's like, I'm going to blow up this train shipment whether you help me or not.
Right.
Right.
It's like
she's like, what are you stealing? I didn't
steal
anything.
Yeah. Let's see her going.
I wanted her going that
path.
route.
Warpath to destroy Fisk's people.
And taking over and rebuilding in her image.
Exactly.
Or starting a competitor to Fisk.
Right.
Yeah.
And then when he is back alive, when that is
then
realized,
to stop her.
now it's a matter of I'm going against you. We are competitors.
And she could have found like her want to do that in like an episode where she was back at home and she realized, even though that's not really what
maybe
her ancestors would have probably wanted,
right?
But
the direction shifted,
and she does become a good guy in the comics. She's a love interest to Daredevil at one point, and she becomes a good guy. She fights with several different teams, but
and her powers like shift dramatically.
Well, we'll get to that in a minute. Yeah. I agree. So I answer your questions. I agree.
So your favorite episode was
no. I agree with the feeling like gypped about it.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I think episode 1 was my favorite. Yeah. I enjoyed it the most. There were really cool parts. Like I loved the fight that she had in, I think it was episode 3 maybe, that she had in the roller rink.
Yeah, that was a pretty good one.
That was a lot of fun. Like when she burst the dude through the wall and like slid across. Like that was.
And the crazy part is, like Victoria even pointed out, like I didn't even realize it. Like she's doing all that herself.
Yeah.
Like at least for the most part, as far as I could tell,
it's her.
It was her.
Yeah. And there was in interviews she mentioned she did a lot of her own stunts. And
also, who casted that kid? I know we saw it in Hawkeye, but like the kid version of her, they look identical.
Oh my goodness, they do. Yeah,
like holy crap.
Yeah.
Impressive.
And she was great. I loved.
She was
the
good.
first episode when we see. It was just kicking the kid down. She comes into the alleyway and kicks the ice cream dude.
And that's a version of Fisk. Like that's what I wanted to see. He's like soft and he wants to be that person for her.
Yeah.
And we do see that, and that's why I was okay with how he was during this.
Right. When he says how he was doing it, I just want more.
I want a new shirt because I don't want Maya to see me. And then she walks around and he's like, well, my hands all drip with this dude's blood.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what I want to piggyback off what you were saying of feeling kind of cheated in this series. So whether they wanted to or not, if you look at the promotional was Fisk punching the dude.
Thank you.
The promotional was Daredevil flipping over tables.
The
promotional was
what we wanted.
Was episode 1 when the dude freaking shoots the guy in the neck and goes into and they begin that fight. Like the majority of the promotional
Maya fighting.
Was
absolutely.
That. And so like whether or not this was a good show or not,
we're a little gaslit.
We went into it gaslight. We went into it believing we were going to get that. Or at least it would be a higher percentage.
Yeah.
Is that a lit?
I don't know how that.
I
don't know any of those
lit on the gas.
We were lighted on the gas.
I am totally lit on some gas right now.
I don't know those terms, dude.
So
anyway.
I would agree. I would agree with that. I think again, like you said, we in this phase, this new post-Endgame era, we're getting a lot of.
This isn't a new. You can't say new.
It's not new anymore.
It's
You're
not
right.
new anymore.
That's why.
That's almost 10 years ago.
I was gonna say.
When I look at perspective of time, I'm like,
it's stupid.
We've gone nowhere.
It's stupid. Well, that's the thing. Yeah. And post Endgame, we've gotten several really cool characters that we want to see more of, but we've never seen good things of.
For sure.
The only exception
we've gotten lukewarm quality of a lot of people.
Right. The only exception for me of new characters really is Kate Bishop. I thought we had some good. Like that was good. The Hawkeye show.
Yeah.
And Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi.
Those are
I was gonna say
new
Shang-Chi.
characters that we've actually gotten to see some cool stuff in. It really hasn't pointed to anything,
But
though.
there's enough time.
Are you talking about main characters? Like A-rated?
main new characters.
Yeah, but Shang-Chi
Spider-Man was
came
great,
out-
Like,
but it's
Mobius
not
is great.
new. Mobius is great.
Yeah.
That's true. Mobius
But
is cool.
Shang-Chi came out
Right
like
after
right
COVID.
after Endgame. Okay.
Yeah, it was soon after.
They
Well, it was right
have
after COVID.
enough. They've had enough time. They could have had another
Shang-Chi
Shang-Chi.
too,
by
yeah.
now.
Talked about
absolutely.
Shang-Chi
I'm like,
too,
what?
and it's like kind of
What has
fizzled out.
happened?
Yeah. So okay,
Where are these people?
Let's refocus in here. So my last thing I want to say before I let you answer your question that you asked, 'cause I want to hear
Your own
your
question.
pitch.
I want to hear yours.
Well, he asked it, so we got
Yeah, no, it was good.
Yeah. It was a good question. Or a two-part question. I think what I would have rather seen is what we actually, all three of us, talked about when Daredevil came out, and when Hawkeye came out, and they were like talking about an Echo show.
Yeah.
Is we were like, we want to see an Echo-centered show where she teams up with Kate Bishop and the new Black Widow, Black Widow's sister, and the three of them kind of come together to take on Fisk, and like maybe have
Girls get it done.
right, maybe have one or two episodes that kind of dive into Echo's background,
Sure.
and then have her call upon her new kind of like they're enemies of my enemy are my friend kind of a thing.
Her new
And,
pals.
yeah, bring them in to help kind of usurp Kingpin or try to.
And even with that, you could have still done a lot of the flashbacks and heritage
of her
pieces
heritage,
and
Absolutely.
cultural. Like you could still do a lot of that.
But bring
please
in
don't
those-
change
those
those
other two.
pieces. But
No, the
like,
heritage stuff was so cool.
They needed to have a better overall plot of where she was going and what she was working towards.
Or no, I would say the same plot, but just add more to it. Like add more.
I don't know, the
pieces to it.
shift around her building her own empire,
That's the plot. That's the good plot. I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying keep that. That plot was great. The execution was a little weak.
And with that, it could have then been like using the two without them realizing
Right. She's gonna use
that she was using them to build her own empire.
That's the whole
I
enemy
got
of my
you.
enemy is
I
my
got
friends
you.
kind of a thing.
Yeah. Okay.
All right,
Harry, your thoughts.
Favorite episode and did it live up?
Mine's the first
Anything
episode.
with Fisk?
It's
for sure.
it definitely was the first episode because
Fisk.
yeah, because they incorporated Fisk, Daredevil,
Yeah.
and Maya in Echo, and
Yeah.
it was a well balanced episodes, and they
Sure.
got a lot done.
They did.
They got a lot done.
Yeah,
they
wise
showed
use of their time.
Sure, they showed her starting up at Fisk's, club. We'll call it that. No,
I want to be
in
part
the
of
gang.
No, actually,
Yeah.
I don't. That's not true. That's a
And
terrible
so,
life.
That's a terrible
That's a terrible
life.
life.
Jeez.
so we saw all that incorporation of her into the crime family, and then we saw her then through the flashbacks and all that really didn't help.
Yeah.
Then eventually leave and go to the country, right? So that was good, and we saw kind of what happened there. So I like that. There was good action. There was good, portrayal of family and all these other things, and then her actual family eventually. But then the 2 and 3 were and although I liked the family ties, like I said earlier, it's just it was just unneeded. Why did we need to know why her grandparents split? We could have already come to that conclusion. Why do we need to see them interact with each other and things like that? They showed all this stuff, this family tie, this interactions with each other, and they didn't Maya wasn't even really around for it, or didn't seem like she even cared. So why would I'm sorry, but why would we care?
Right.
If the character that we're trying to learn about doesn't care, why should we care?
Why are we invested?
Can I make a parallel?
That's fine.
Where I think they did what you're.
Yeah, you're not allowed.
Where
You're
I
not
think
allowed.
they
This is
did
my
what
time.
you're saying.
You're biting on his time,
you're,
dude.
You're saying the family stuff is not a bad thing to have,
Correct.
but the execution wasn't so great.
Correct.
Because
Right.
you didn't feel connected to it.
I think so.
The Luke Cage series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Luke Cage,
Similar.
we see the familial connection in the barbershop.
Yeah.
And when that barbershop freaking gets shot up,
Right.
it's gut wrenching
Right.
because that was the peace ground where everybody would come together, and so you had the familial and the connection that Luke Cage had to his family and to the homes around him, and then when it goes down, you feel it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to feel with the familial connections here in Echo, and it just it fell
I
a
didn't
little
feel
flat.
much with it.
Yeah.
And they brought in, the original, the original people of
Yeah.
the Native American that at least
the
tribe.
Yeah, the traditions and
then they brought in the next generation after her that had that, and then they had the next generation. Then they had her mom. And so it's like, and her grandmom and mom, and it's like
they all had powers.
They kind of just like, I get what they're doing. They're trying to show like the history of her people eventually, and I don't mind that at all. I like that. Like I like, you're showing why she has purpose in her life, and why she's driven to do the things that she wants to do, and trying to find that out,
and a better representation of her name.
Sure,
her,
absolutely
echoes back.
Yes.
Well, we'll get to that in a second, and the familial thing has a good point too. But keep going.
But like, so there's we've talked about it before, but Joe Gomez, he was the guy that teamed up with Captain America. He was the Native American Captain America. He's like, my people were here first. He had no superpowers at all. But he teamed up, and it was a short run. It was only like, I don't know, 7 or 8.
Somewhere.
I have somewhere.
It's somewhere.
But it's like, he's sweet.
It's
a sweet looking friggin'.
Oh,
yeah. And so like, I don't know. I would have I don't know, but there's those are the grabs that like no one's ever gonna do,
probably
for characters. But it's just like there wasn't even like a I'm trying to represent my people moment almost thing. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
There really wasn't a point where
was the end when she gave her powers to the grandmother and the friend, and they like shared it together.
Her cousin. Is it her cousin or her friend?
Yeah, I think I'm with Harry that like
I'm saying
her
that's the
connection didn't like resonate.
Right.
Okay. And so hopefully it will eventually. I'm sure they're thinking they're going to do it more.
Yeah.
But
and I mean, the reason they're showing the traditionalism and the traditions, the tribes, and things like that is to bring light to the Native American people's history.
Well, and
that's great. And I'm for that. I think every person should have these, different characters, bring them into the limelight and show their history. And that's fine. But there wasn't really there wasn't an explanation, and that's the other thing.
She care about it.
She does to a point to want to understand how her powers work, but it's not because of it's her family.
Yes.
So would it have been? I think it might have served them better if she came to that realization of the powers in like the second episode, and then the rest of the series was used to like grow her appreciation,
refine
and
it,
love for it.
Yes.
Because I like the generational impact.
It was just so stretched out, and she needed to be like things.
It was watered down
faster.
It took too long. Yeah, it took too long.
Took way too long.
Yeah.
Took way too long to get to it. We needed to be happening faster.
Yeah. It was the lack of her caring.
Episodes.
Yeah, and that it could come down to that.
Right, you're coming to the realization of these things way too late in a shorter series than anybody else's. It's
build it in 2, grow it in 3.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So some connections to that, and it goes to like the comic world too. So her name Echo in the comics, the reason why is her powers in the comics are very similar to Taskmaster. So she can echo people's abilities. She replicates their abilities. They didn't do that.
Nope.
They changed that entirely.
Very
just
different.
Like they made weird things with Taskmaster.
Yeah. Right. The way
I really don't think they
copycat
understand
abilities here. Like the copycat ability is super cool.
Yeah, I don't think they understand this ability.
Yeah. Anyway,
like it's very strange.
So they changed her powers to be an echoing of her generational powers. So each generation, it's manifested in a different way, and then she kind of becomes the culmination where she can kind of do all of it. So she can she's got the accuracy, she's got
kind
the
of sounds
healing,
like
she's got whatever.
Ray.
What's my Echo? Anyway, what's your name? Maya who? I'm gonna bury
Skywalker. Maya Skywalker.
I'm gonna bury my powers in the sand.
Yeah.
No, but there's okay. All right, we'll end in this. This is a comic connection here, which I think I've seen some rumors and I've seen some people dialoguing about this, and I don't know if it's true or not. I just want to get your guys' hot take on it. So,
quick hot take,
the idea here that people are seeing is that the powers that are exhibited through Echo's generational line really closely mirror the comic book powers of the Phoenix Force. And so I believe Echo in the comics had a part of the Phoenix Force at one point. And so the thought, can you look that up?
Sure.
The thought is like the glowing and the ability to heal and the ability to so the thought behind it is this idea is this a way that they're going to start introducing the idea of the Phoenix Force? The Phoenix
Hope
Force
not.
is a power, well, it's better than what they did in either of the Dark Phoenix movies.
Yeah.
So the idea is this going to then spread out into the introduction of the X-Men, because the Phoenix Force is now being shown to have existed on the Earth at some point and will take over people?
I'm going to just outright say no.
So for Marvel.com,
Yeah.
it says under Maya Lopez, Echo,
Yep.
the current host of the Phoenix Force,
See?
Echo, a.k.a. Maya Lopez, possesses photographic reflexes and superhuman physicality.
Right.
She is prodigy, a master combatant, and deaf. All the things that make Echo unique make her perfectly suited to bear an opponent and cosmic force.
Right. So the idea is this because here's the thing is that fans were very confused.
Tell you what, she looks a lot
I'm
cooler
going
in
to
the
tell
comics.
you this.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you
Here's
this. Can I answer?
Yeah.
Can I answer?
Yeah, well, I wanted to continue
You don't need
the
to.
theory.
No.
Go ahead.
I'm going to just tell you.
You think no?
They're not going to do it
You think no?
because they won't.
Because they won't. Because
they're just too dumb.
So what you're saying is this could be a cool way to introduce the Phoenix Force, but they're not going to do it.
Nope.
Because they messed up the Phoenix Force twice already,
Yep.
and they're going to mess it up a third time.
Yep.
I'm
I think
too dumb to do
you know what? No, I don't. Logan, I'm gonna disagree with you.
Yeah.
Hot take.
Hot take. Go ahead, bro.
Hot take.
Disagree,
Go ahead.
but agree at the same
Yeah.
time.
What are you disagreeing with? Go ahead.
my
The
brain.
word you're using.
Stupid?
They're too stupid. No, they're too scared. They're too scared to
Hot take,
delve
hot
into
take,
something
hot
that is
take.
not
Yeah.
like
Too abstract.
normal. Yeah, it's not normal.
It would actually be a good idea. You're
If they
saying?
can, so there's things that are alienated in the comic realm.
Alienated, huh?
Well played. You can give yourself
Give
one.
yourself
Give
one.
yourself one, bro.
So there's two. No,
Oh,
but
man.
like there's actually to hold on to that. So there's things that are alienated in the comic book realm that are like for
Right,
people that are
right.
outside of comic books are just gonna be like that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
So,
Well, yeah,
but
it's
the only
very
reason that
abstract.
they will ever use those things,
Yeah.
Yep.
or the only ones they'll use, are things that are actually pertaining to aliens.
Right.
Mm.
Right.
So if it has something to do with like
Mhm.
mystical powers or quasi cosmic forces and things like
Yeah.
that are a
The
little
Marvels.
bit more or a little bit less explainable.
We haven't seen that yet.
No, because
Drop it on
it's
Disney Plus, I think,
the
next week.
worst.
Yeah.
We'll watch it
Yeah,
then,
we're
and
gonna
then
watch
we'll
it.
Anyway,
rip
Tear
it
it
I just
apart.
think they're too scared.
Yeah, they did do.
They're too scared.
They did do mystical naked tree people, though.
Yeah, look
It's
how that
gonna-
turned out for them.
It's gonna be dumb.
Yeah,
It
here's
would
the-
be
here's the thing.
they're too dumb to do it, and
Yeah,
they
I-
won't figure it
I
out
agree.
right, and then
I
they will
agree.
back off from it.
I agree.
They
I
just-
think
they
it would
won't do
be.
it.
I think it would be an awesome way to introduce.
I think
the
they
idea
could,
of a Phoenix Force,
But they won't.
But yeah, I would
No.
say this theory, which is on the internet, is
It's a good theory.
yeah, it's fans like us
Yep.
thinking about awesome comic book connections,
Mm-hmm.
and then them not doing it.
Right.
Kate's mom.
Right.
Kate's mom.
Mephisto.
Mephisto.
Kate's mom.
They won't
Still
do it.
Mephisto. We're sticking by that. Kate's mom is Mephisto.
Right now,
And
hot
we're
take,
right.
They won't do it
Yeah, I agree. I don't think they will.
because it makes too much sense. It's too
good.
too direct, too good.
It's
won't
too
do
much,
it
because fans
because we would want it.
because fans were like, this is such a departure from Echo's real powers, but it's a really close connection to her hosting the Phoenix Force. Could it be that? They probably won't.
Yep.
Guys, what do you guys think? Leave it in the comments down below.
Hey, we're
Do
not
you
done.
think we're not?
No, we're not done.
Hot take.
Okay.
Hot take.
You can do graphics, right? You
Yeah.
can do graphics and
Oh,
everything
no.
on here.
Give him it.
What am I doing?
Give it to him.
Oh, what's that?
It's
so beautiful. It's so bright. My eyes.
So dumb.
What does it mean?
I'm the dumbest dumb.
What does it
dumb,
mean,
dumb.
though?
Dummy in the world
I'm the dumbest dumb dummy in the
to
world.
ever exist.
So if you watched
You are-
2 episodes ago,
You're kind of smart.
I'm kind of smart.
Like, Greg, I called you leg.
Did you watch 2
Don't worry about
episodes
that.
ago?
You called me
I
leg.
said leg.
Leg day.
Oh,
Greg.
now, let's focus on that.
Let me get my quads.
Was it
in
2
here.
episodes ago?
Yes.
Why don't you
Where
put
I
that
was-
right here?
Yeah, let's put a little thing
Put a
here.
little like.
Where-
I don't know.
Logan-
Honestly, I don't know if we talked about it on the episode. We might
May
have
have been
talked
cut
about
out.
it before we started recording, but we were talking about it a
Yeah.
lot.
All right, well,
So
never mind.
Greg
So don't
had
put it
his
here.
first child.
I did.
And then Harry and Greg were like, Logan, when are you having your next one? And I was like, absolutely not. We are totally done. We
Right.
will not have another child.
Right.
And during the recording of that episode, Carly knew we were pregnant with our next child.
Oh, hence the gauntlet.
Hence the gauntlet.
He's got it.
We are having our 5th child. So, announcing to the Legion, Carly and I are pregnant
But
with our
also,
5th. Yeah, also that. It is a blessing.
So
We're
It is a blessing.
shocked.
It is a
Yeah,
blessing.
we didn't plan this, but God had a plan.
That's right.
And
That's
right.
he planned it, and he always has a better plan than we do.
Amen.
So
Amen.
we are very thankful. We are very blessed.
That's so great.
But yeah, 5. Number
Dude.
5.
The whole
The whole gauntlet.
So you
I've
got
got
5,
every Infinity Stone.
5, and then you and Carly. You
Yeah.
guys 7. The
7.
the perfect number.
Yeah. Yep.
I thought
yeah.
3 was a perfect number.
There's debate about that.
So we are on the way. We won't
7
take
is the
Oh,
nu-
3
7
is a
the-
magic number.
We
7
won't
is the
take
number
time
of
off.
perfection.
for this because
Yeah,
when
yeah.
you're at 5,
You're good.
you're just like,
You have the oldest one to take care of the youngest
yeah.
one.
We're gonna
Yeah.
be. We're gonna
Alright.
be. We're gonna be.
honest to God, you're just drowning, and then somebody hands you a baby.
We're gonna be recording. We're gonna be recording, and you're gonna be like, "Oh, Carly's going into labor. We can finish this episode.
Yeah, we'll finish the episode.
We'll be good.
It's perfectly fine.
It's okay.
She's fine.
She's fine. She can do it herself at this point.
She's got it. Like, yeah.
Well, that's
yeah.
exciting.
Yeah,
So
it's exciting.
In the
It's
coming
awesome.
months,
Yeah.
we will talk.
We'll talk more and
more
more about it.
about his gauntlet.
About some crazy stuff happening.
Mm,
yeah,
it's a beautiful
so-
thing.
Yeah.
All right, well, guys, if you guys have any thoughts about Logan having 5 kids or about the Phoenix Force being an Echo,
That's not going to happen.
or
Not
about,
about
the MCU.
how Logan had 5 kids.
We don't need to talk about that.
We don't need to, that's
We
personal.
don't need to get into that.
But
Family
maybe
friendly show.
about the decision to have a 5th child.
There was no decision.
About
The
There was a
decision
decision
God-
somewhere,
God
but
had a decision. We did not.
about the ramifications of having a 5th
Yeah.
child. If you
Yeah.
have any parental advice, leave it down there. We love you guys. We'll see you next time on the Legion of Comic Correction. Boom! Stay Legion.
Stop it.